Hello, baseball fans. Anthony with BBSN, and no introduction needed for this one. We are here with week number 8 of the Status Pro Advanced Game of the Week series from 1976, and today's matchup is the rivalry. The Boston Red Sox are coming to the Bronx to take on the New York Yankees. And this game selected, because it was quite the pitcher's duel, played on 5/22/1976. The Yankees, behind the 3-hit performance of Catfish Hunter, edged out a 1-0 victory over the Red Sox and tough luck loser Dick Pole. So our lineups for today's matchup: for the visiting Red Sox, Rick Miller in left, Denny Doyle at second, Fred Lynn in center, Pudge Carlton Fisk behind the plate, Carl Yastrzemski at first, Jim Rice, the designated hitter, Dwight Evans in right, Rico Petrocelli at third, and Rick Burleson at shortstop. And as mentioned on the mound, Dick Pole, who has a start fatigue rating of 12. For the home-standing Yankees, Willie Randolph leads off at second, Roy White in left, Thurman Munson at catch, behind the plate at catcher. Chris Chambliss at first, Carlos May, the DH, Greg Nettles at third, Oscar Gamble, he of the prolific Fro, in right field, and Mickey Rivers in center, Jim Mason at short, and of course Catfish on the mound, who has a start rating of 18. One difference to the as-played lineup, the center fielder, and I actually forget who it was now, was not Mickey Rivers, and he is not carded. Probably because played less than 5 games with the Yankees. Derek really does a great job. Each team has anywhere from 28 to 32 players carded, so everyone that really saw any significant time is captured, but the center fielder in this case, God, I want to say last name is Kittle, not Ron, obviously, but anyway, not there. So Mick, that's why he is batting 8th. He is in that spot in center field today. So without further ado, let's get this matchup rolling. Looking at the lineups, really, and I said the same thing about the 1978 World Series replay. I think that of the 3 years the Yankees won the pennant in the 70s back-to-back, 76, 77, 78, I honestly really believe that overall, maybe with the exception of 77, the Red Sox had a better team. And really the same thing here. You look at their lineup, the outfield, first of all, everyone in the outfield has cannons for arms, but Rice, Evans, Lynn, and Yastrzemski, of course, playing first, but he also played some outfield. And Rick Miller is the 4th outfielder, just exceptionally deep. Of course, the infield with Yaz at first and Petrocelli at third. 2 solid hitters. Middle infield, Burleson, definitely a very good defensive shortstop, adequate offensively. Probably the weak link there on the infield, and really in the starting 9 is Denny Doyle. Yankees, I just don't think stack up to them on paper, but as they say, the game's not played on paper except here, so let's see what happens. So Hunter to Rick Miller, and we're going to have a potential error right off the bat. Hunter's control rating 2.5 versus lefties, 4.7 versus righties. Dick Pole is 2.6 versus lefties and 2.8 versus righties. So we will have an error check. 68 is going to be off Miller's card, and that's going to be an out. So Miller, that is a fly ball to second base, and Willie Randolph, who has an error rating of 4, is camping under that and runs into the stands. I don't know. Makes the catch, so no issues there. And we are underway and rolling here as Denny Doyle steps up. Comes a pitch from Hunter, and off of Doyle's card, that is going to be an out as well. And Doyle, line drive right at Willie Randolph, who snags it, 2 down, as Willie getting his work in out there. Brings up Fred Lynn. part of a very solid outfield that included generally Dwight Evans and, of course, Jim Rice during the 70s and early 80s. Going to be off a Hunter's card, 47 versus a left-hander, and Hunter, that's going to be an out. So Freddie Lynn grounds that down to shortstop, and up with that is Mason, whips it across to Chambliss, and 3 up, 3 down go the Sox. So Catfish Hunter starting off much like he did in real life, unlike our last game that we streamed live Sunday that featured Mark the Bird Fidrich. He had issues with Cleveland in that game. So Dick Pole pitches to Willie Randolph, and 64, that is going to come off of Pole's card against the right-hander, and it will be an out. And Slick Willie puts that into play towards third base, and up with that is Petrocelli, whips it across, and there is 1 down. Except for the Yankees, Mr. Steady, Roy White, a big part of the team, really never got the accolades some of the other players got, but definitely a substantial contributor. And that's going to be an out off of Pole's card, and White grounds that down to, switch hitter White grounds that down to third base, so Petrocelli again. Long throw across the diamond, gets Roy by a couple of steps, brings up Thurman Munson. And off of Munson's card, and 28, he's going to get into that a little bit, and that's going to be a hard single into right field, lines that between first and second, and we have our first base runner of the game. So 2-out single for Munson brings up Chris Chambliss, who hit .293 with 17 bombs in 1976. 4 going to be off Pole's card, and 68 will be an out. So Chambliss, a deep fly to left field, and takes Miller all the way back to the track, and he pulls it in. Rice is a designated hitter today. So Rick Miller retires Chambliss, and the Yankees waste a hit. We go to the second inning, no score, and Carlton Fisk set to lead it off for the Sox. Here comes a pitch, going to be off Fisk's card, and 64 against the right-hander. Fisk gets into that, puts it in play, and ground ball down to shortstop. Mason has it, 1 down. Yeah, it's Carl Yastrzemski up, and the veteran still a threat at the plate as he hit .267 with 21 puffin stuffs in 1976. 47 going to be off of Hunter's card against the left-hander. That'll be an out, and a possible error. That's a pop fly to first base, and Chambliss. At first base for the Yanks, he is a 3. Camping under it, gets near the stands, reaches out, and pulls it in. So 2 outs. As Captain Carl heads back to the dugout, and Jim Rice will be the batter. Here comes a pitch from Hunter, going to be off of Hunter's card, and that is going to be a hit. As Rice, he rifles a single into left field, and out in left field is Roy White, who is a 1. And I did roll the 1d20, so we'll just take that as the error check. There is none. So Catfish Hunter gives up his first hit of the ball game. And I'm going to bring up Dwight Evans. Dwight Evans, a little bit of pop, 17 home runs in 1976 and 88. That's going to be an out, however. Right, or Evans with the big swing, and it's going to be a ground ball down to third. Nettles takes care of that easily, and the Red Sox retired in the second inning. So we head to the bottom of the second inning, no score in this one. And Carlos May, designated hitter, set to lead it off for the Yanks. That's going to be off of Pole's card. And Carlos May, a fly to right field, and that is going back to the wall, to the track, and back against the wall. Making the catch out there is Dwight Evans. So the Yankees have sent a couple deep, but they've stayed in the yard. As Greg Nettles up, and 12 or 11 going to be off of Nettles' card. 46 versus the right-hander, and that is going to be a strikeout. Swing and a miss, Nettles. Big hack at a pole fastball, and he heads back to the bench. Unfulfilled as Oscar Gamble steps up. 41 off of Pole's card, and that is going to be a walk. So Gamble Yankees second base runner and first walk of the game. And Mick the Quick, Mickey Rivers up, hitting out of the 8th spot. Here comes a pitch, and 5. That'll be off of Pohl's card as well. And against the left-handed hitting Rivers, 38 is going to be yet another walk. So the Yankees going to capture a little 2-out magic here, first and second. And Jim Mason, the light-hitting shortstop, hit a robust 180 in 1976. And I do not know what is wrong with these guys. Let's just do that. So 11, and that'll be off Mason's card. That is going to be a single into left field. So on second base, Gamble will be a B. And 37, looking to score, is going to get it done as he comes around, and we have our first run of the game. So Mason, taking exception to the announcers and they're characterizing him as a punch and Judy hitter, promptly drives in a run. Rivers over to third, and Yankees lead this 1-0. Willie Randolph up. 2 outs, runners at the corners. Here comes a pitch, and going to be off Randolph's card, 38 against the right-hander, and Randolph draws a walk. So Pohl, and again, he's up to 6 now on his fatigue, and he only has a start rating of 12 again. So these sacks are juiced with Yankees. And that is going to bring up Roy White. White with a chance to do some damage here. Here comes a pitch from Pohl, and going to be off White's card. 85 will be an out. Possible error, though. And against the right-hander, that is a ground ball down to shortstop. And at shortstop, Rick Burleson is a 6. And he makes a play and retires aside. So the Yankees get 3 walks and a hit. That does account for a run. But leave the bases loaded. Let's see if that comes back to hurt them later. We head to the top of the 3rd inning, 1-0 New York, as Rico Petrocelli set to step in and hit against Hunter. And here comes a pitch off of Petrocelli's card. That'll be an out. And that's a fly ball to center field, and Mickey Rivers takes that in no problem. 1 down, and shortstop Rick Burleson the batter. Here comes a pitch and possible error as Burleson, that is a fly ball to right field, and in right field for the Yankees, Oscar Gamble is a 2, and he makes a play. So nice running catch, secures that. Back to the top of the order now, 2 down. And Rick Miller steps in, eyes Hunter. Hunter gets a sign, kicks, delivers the pitch. And 78, going to be an out. And Rick Miller grounds that down to shortstop and across the diamond to Mason, or to Chambliss from Mason. So another 3-up, 3-down inning for Catfish and the Yankees. We head to the bottom of the 3rd inning. New York 1, Bo Sox 0. And here we go. Dick Pohl, 47 off of his card against the right-hander, and that is going to be an out. So Thurman Munson, a fly ball the opposite way into right field and taken care of by Dewey Evans, no problem, 1 down. Chris Chambliss up, and the big power hitting first baseman gave one a ride, just stayed in the park his first time up, 77. And it's going to be off Chambliss's card, and Chambliss gets into that, and that is going to be a hard ground ball down to first base. Gloved there by Yaz, who takes it to the bag himself. And we have 2 quick outs for the Yankees here in the 3rd as Carlos May, who flew out to right field his first time up, steps in. And May, that's going to be yet another out as he gets into that and ropes that into center field. But a line drive right at Freddie Lynn out there. Puts that away, and Yankees are retired as we head to the top of the 4th inning. 1-0, New York in the lead, and Denny Doyle set to lead things off for the Sox here in the 4th inning. Denny Doyle, who also had a stint with the Yankees. Not a super dangerous offensive hitter, but he was a solid utility player who filled needs. And 57, that is going to be off of Doyle's card against Hunter, and that'll be a ground ball back to Hunter. And Hunter has a error rating of 0. So makes play. 1-3 on the put out, and that is the best kind of error check, a 0. Comes a pitch to Lynn, and Freddie against the left-hander. That's going to be off Lynn's card, and 28. That is going to be driven hard into the center field gap, looping. It falls in. It's going to get to the fence, and Lynn around first base chugs into second, and he has a one-out double. So Hunter's second hit surrender of the day is an extra base knock, and it's going to put the Red Sox with a runner in scoring position. A chance to tie this as Pudge steps up. Come off Pudge card, and Pudge pops him up, and going into foul ground near the dugout is Chris Chambliss. He pulls that in. 2 outs now for the Sox. Runner on second base. Captain Carl up. Yastrzemski looking to come through in the clutch. Speaking of which, we have had no clutch results yet. 45 going to be off Yaz's card against the right-hander, and he draws a base on ball. So Hunter's first walk of the day. As Yastrzemski trots down to first. And don't know if you want to walk him to get to this guy. 282 average and 25 bombs in 1976. Here comes a pitch, and 24, and Rice. He's going to drive that down the left field line. That's going to rattle around in the corner. And he's going to be into second base. Yastrzemski, who is a C, moved up to a B with 2 outs, looking to round third, and 14. He's going to come home a 2 RBI double by Jim Rice, and the Red Sox have stormed back to take the lead 2-1 here in the top of the 4th inning. Much to the delight of folks like Al, Red Sox fan, and my chagrin. But that's how it goes. So 2 runs come in. And Hunter up to 6 on his fatigue now. Dewey Evans looking to increase the damage here. Going to be off a Hunter's card, 36, and a possible error check. But strikeout! Hunter rings him up. So big K for Catfish, and the Red Sox are going to be content with their 2 runs on 2 hits. And they leave 1. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Boston leads us 2-1 over the Yankees, and Greg Nettles coming up. Yankees slugging third baseman. I actually got to meet when he was a coach with the Padres at spring training back in the 90s. Nice guy. Still cut a pretty imposing figure back then, too. Here comes a pitch off of Nettles' card, and Nettles ropes that into right field. A hard line drive. That'll fall for a base knock. So the Yankees have their leadoff runner on here in the 4th inning. And that is going to bring up Oscar Gamble. Gamble adjusting the helmet to keep his fro contained. Here comes a pitch. 8 going to be off of Gamble's card, and 57 will be an out. So Gamble, that is a ground ball down to shortstop in the hole. Only play for Burleson is to go to first base. Nettles to second, 1 down. Make the quick, Mickey Rivers up, and Rivers going to drive home the tying run here, and that's going to be off of Pohl's card against the left-hander, 34, and that's going to be a walk for Mick the Quick. So Yankees now in business. Runners at first and second. Jim Mason, he came through the last time. So just to secure that, I'm going to call him a Punch and Judy hitter again. Here comes a pitch. 4 off of Pohl's card, and 44 against the left-hander. A potential pass ball, and if not, and it is, so it gets to the backstop, and that is going to be an error on Fisk. So going to second and third respectively are Rivers and Nettles, and Mason will reset. Now the chance to get 2 ducks on the pond, and 8 going to be off of Mason's card, 31 versus the right-hander, and struck him out. You Punch and Judy. Mason, a little bit too confident after his run-scoring single in the second, perhaps, and wails away at this pitch. Doesn't even come close. 2 down. Second, third for Willie Randolph. And 88. 8's everywhere. That is going to be an out as Randolph grounds that down to first base. Yaz with the play, and Pohl gets out at 3-1 on the putout. So the Yankees get a hit and a walk, but they leave 2 in scoring position. We head to the top of the 5th inning. 2-1 Sox lead this, as Rico Petrocelli steps up against Hunter. And Petro, the right-hander, that's going to be off a Hunter's card. 67 will be an out. And let's see, ground ball down to shortstop. Mason takes care of that, one away. Rick Burleson, the batter now for the Sox. He flew out to right field his first time up. Possible error, going to be off a Hunter's card. And 57 will be an out. And Burleson, that's a ground ball down to Mason at shortstop. And Mason, he is a 5, and he boots that. So no bueno. That is going to be infield error 3. So on the G6 on that, 3, shortstop throws a ball into the dirt, first base can't come up with it, E6. So safe at first on that error is going to be Burleson. And it was only a matter of time. Both teams were flirting with disaster on the errors, and they finally got burned. So 1 down, runner on first base. Rick Miller, top of the order up for the Sox. Here comes pitch. And 9 going to be off of Miller's card. That's going to be a base knock into left field. And going first to third, Burleson is a B, 81. So first to third, a left field, 81. And that is going to be held to... Actually, going to be a challenge, my bad. So on the challenge, we will flip another card. And 48, Burleson challenging White's arm, and 48, he is a B. He's going to make it in there just under the tag. That was close. And that causes some chirping from the Yankees dugout, but to no avail. Red Sox will have runners at first and second, and looking to pick up an unearned run here off of Hunter. 8, that's going to be off of Doyle's card, 68 against the right-hander. As Doyle grounds that down to first base, and that is going to get in a run, as the only play Chambliss has is to go to the bag. So a run comes in, and over to second goes Miller. 3 unassisted for Doyle, who gets the RBI. And for Hunter, that will be an unearned run. So no effect to his fatigue reduction on that. But Sox now have a 3-1 lead, and here comes a pitch to Freddie Lynn off of Lynn's card, 42, and that's clutch batting. 42 with the runner in scoring position against the right-hander, and that is roped into the corner in right field, and it ricochets back halfway to first base. Lynn is going to get all the way around to third, and Miller going to come in to score easily. A clutch triple for Freddie Lynn, and the Red Sox increase their lead now to 4-1. Yet another unearned run for Hunter. And he's up to 10 now on his fatigue points. So 4-1, they should have been out of this inning. Carlton Fisk, and that's going to be an out. So Pudge, a big whack, lines that right back at Hunter. Self-defense, he makes a play. So L1 on the putout, but the Sox take advantage of an error, a single and a triple to plate 2 more runs. Both of them unearned as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Boston 4, New York 1. Roy White looking to get the Yankees back into the game. Here we go. 47 off of White's card against the right-hander. That's going to be a walk. So Pohl, he's up to 9 now as leadoff base on ball for White. That is Pohl's 3rd walk of the game. Actually, 4th walk of the game. So Thurman Munson, the batter now. Munson, runner on first base. Here comes a pitch. 6, 43 going to be off of Pohl's card against the right-hander, and yet another base on ball. So Pohl, his 5th walk. And he's up to 10 now in terms of fatigue, and that is going to get some action going in the Boston bullpen. And Tom Murphy, the right-hander, and Tom House, the left-hander, are both warming up down in the Bo Sox pen. As Chris Chambliss steps in, and he can put the Yankees on top with one swing of his big bat. And 8 going to be off of Chambliss's card. 47, swing and a miss. He strikes out. Strat-o-matic, Chris Chambliss. Runners on first and second, and he cannot catch up with a pull fastball. 1 down for Carlos May. Here comes a pitch. 67 off of May's card. That's going to be an out, but a potential error. As May, a GX4. And at second base for the Sox, Denny Doyle is a 4. And Doyle, he's going to make an error. So this could get interesting. And infield error is going to be a 2. So on the GX4, on a 2, second baseman emails throw to lead base. Runners advance 2 bases, batter to first. So Doyle chucks that into the dugout. And that's going to bring home Roy White from second base, an unearned run. Over to third goes Munson, and on at first with the E4 will be Carlos May. And again, with an unearned run, an error like that, that does not affect the pitcher's fatigue, so Pole remains at a 10. But Greg Nettles can fix that as the Yankees now trail this 4-2. 1 down, runners on the first and second. Here comes a pitch to Nettles. And 7 against the left-hander, going to be off of Nettles' card. 48, Nettles. And just missed that. Going to be an out instead as Nettles line drive right at second base, and Doyle snags that. Checks the runners. They both get back safely. So 2 outs for Oscar Gamble. He's got a chance to be a hero here if he can get this into play. Off of Gamble's card, 54 against the right-hander. Going to be an out, however, as Gamble ground ball down to second base. Doyle atones for his previous gaffe and makes the throw over to first. Side is retired, so the Yankees push 1 across without the benefit of a hit, an error, and 2 walks in that inning. We head to the top of the 6th. Score, Boston 4, New York 2. As Captain Carl set to lead it off for the Sox. 15 off of Hunter's card against the left-hander. That's going to be a line drive single right back up the middle. So Yaz down at first base. And Hunter now at 11. No activity yet in the Yankees bullpen. They're going to ride Catfish at least at this point. 85, that's going to be an out off of Rice's card, and ground ball down in front of the plate, and hustling out to get that is Munson. Only plays to go to first. So 2-3 on the putout as Yastrzemski advances to second base. Red Sox again, runner in scoring position. 1 down, Dwight Evans a batter. 37 off of Hunter's card against the right-hander, and ring him up. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Hunter's second strikeout of the game, and both at the expense of Mr. Dwight Evans. So 2 down now for Rico Petrocelli. Petrocelli, a paltry 213 in 1976. And against the right-hander, going to come off Petrocelli's card, and 28. And he drives that deep. And in Yankee Stadium, that ball is carrying out into right field, and this will be a bomb on a roll of 51 or less. Going back, and caught. 3rd out as Petrocelli gives that a ride, but can't put it into the bleachers. So bullet dodged on a long, loud out, and we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Score remains, Bo Sox 4, Yankees 2. And Mickey Rivers will lead things off for the Yankees here in the 6th inning. Here comes a pitch from Pole to Rivers, and Pole, he's now up to 11 as we enter the 6th, so Hunter's at 12. Basically, he can afford to give up a single base runner. He's going to have to get pulled from the game. Clutch bat does not count. There's no runners on first base, so 31 on Pole's card. And against the left-hander, that is going to be a single into right field, so Pole, he is going to have to get replaced here as Mickey Rivers leads off the 6th with a single. And Pohl is at his fatigue point. So we're going to go to the Red Sox bullpen and have a new pitcher. All right, so new pitcher for the Red Sox is going to be Tom Murphy, and we closed the book on Dick Pohl. He went 5 innings, gave up 4 hits, 2 runs, one of them unearned up to this point. He did walk 6, however, and struck out 3. So Rivers down at first base and Jim Mason. And with Mason, we're going to play a little small ball here. He's going to try and lay down the bunt. Double-A bunter and 44. And 44 sacrifice runners advance. Batter out 5-3 on the putout, so Mickey Rivers down to second base. 5-3 sacrifice hit. Back to the top of the order. Yankees trying to play small ball, scratch out a run. They now have the tying runner, but tying runner at the plate, and runner in scoring position at second base, and Murphy against the right-hander. And 4, Murphy is a 2-7 against lefties, 2-5 against righties, so not very spiffy against right-handers. This will come off his card though, but 23 is going to be a single to center field. And at second base, Mickey Rivers, he is an A, rounding third. And 44 on the single to center field, he is going to score easily. So Willie Randolph, 1-out RBI single, and the Yankees have fought back to within a single run of the Sox. And that is going to close the book on Dick Pohl, so he ends up being charged with 3 runs, 2 of them earned, for his 5 innings of work. And Yankees trail this 4-3. Roy White up, runner on first base. Getting his lead is Randolph. Here comes a pitch, and 7 to the switch hitting Randolph, or Roy White, who's hitting left-handed. 2-7. That's going to be off of Murphy's card. 62 will be an out. So LN, and that's a pop fly around first base. Yastrzemski, a couple of feet inside the bag, makes the play, and there are 2 away. And Willie Randolph, he is a speed of AA. He's going to try and steal a base here with 2 outs. So getting his lead, and here comes a pitch. Randolph takes off, and 34 AA, and he's going to get in there ahead of the tag. Error check, and there is possible error. So Fisk behind the plate for the Sox is a 6, and no error on that. So stolen base for Willie Randolph. And now the Yankees have the tying run in scoring position. And Thurman Munson trying to come through in the clutch here, tie this one up. Going to be off Munson's card, 62 against the right-hander, and that's going to be an out. Munson grounds out to second base. Doyle with a nice play, flips it to Yastrzemski, and the inning is over. But the Yankees claw back. They get a run on a hit and leave one. We head to the 7th inning. Boston 4, New York 3. This is turning into a good old-fashioned rivalry slobber knocker, as Hunter is going to stay on the mound. His fatigue goes up to 13 as he starts the 7th inning. Possible error, 37 off of Hunter's card to Rick Burleson, and Burleson the right-hander, but no, swing and a miss, Hunter. So I'll take this into my own hands. I don't need the leather behind me. I got the fastball, and that sends Burleson back to the dugout. Rick Miller up to the plate. Hunter looks to deal another out. 84 going to be an out off of Hunter's card. And 82, it's going to be a fly ball to center field. Mickey Rivers jogs in, makes that look easy, gets the ball back in. 2 down for Denny Doyle. Doyle drove in a run on a ground out to first base his last time up. 26 off of Doyle's card. Clutch hitting doesn't count. No runners on base. 26 counts as a double down the left field line, though. So Doyle, 2-out double as the Sox They were hitting the ball hard at times off of Hunter. And runner on second base. Fred Lynn looks to extend the Boston lead. Here comes a pitch, and uh-oh, it's going to be off of Hunter's card. No, off of Lynn's card, actually. And 12, that will definitely be a hit. And that will probably be a run, too, as 2 outs, and Doyle will be an A. 24, and he comes around to score easily. So Hunter now gives up his 5th run, and he's at 16 in fatigue points, and Dick Tidrow loosening up feverishly in the Yankees bullpen. They're going to give Catfish one more batter. Hoping they won't regret that, as that batter is Carlton Fisk, and going to come off a Fisk card, 78. That'll be an out, as he takes a big cut, grounds that down to Randolph. Randolph over to Chambliss, and side is retired. But the Sox do some damage with 2 outs. Getting a run on 2 hits, they leave 1, and we head to the bottom of the 7th inning. Boston leads us 5-3 now, and that is going to be the end for Catfish Hunter. So Hunter, he ends up going 7 innings. Gives up 8 hits, 5 runs, 3 of them earned. Had a good day control-wise. He walked 1. And struck out 3. So, not a terrible outing. He was let down by his defense a little bit. But that is baseball. So, Hunter's day. Once again, 7 innings pitched, 8 hits, 5 runs, 3 earned, 1 walk, 3 Ks. And Dick Tidrow will be the new Yankees pitcher when Boston comes up in the 8th. Meanwhile, down in the Red Sox bullpen, Tom House has sat down, and Jim Willoughby, the Red Sox closer, I guess co-closer along with Murphy, has started to warm up. So bottom of the 7th inning here at the Old Ball Game. Chris Chambliss, let's start some late inning magic. Here we go, the pitch, and it's going to be off Chambliss' card, 45 against the right-hander. And 45 is going to be another swing and nothing but air. So Chambliss doing his best Mighty Casey imitation, shattering the air with the force of his blow, but bringing no joy to Mudville. 1 down for Carlos May. Murphy kicks, delivers, and May, big cut, and 44 against the right-hander is going to be a walk as he checks his swing. Had everybody fooled on that, but the first base umpire says, nope, didn't go around. Greg Nettles the batter. And Murphy has a fatigue rating of 5. He is now at 2. And 10 is going to be off of Nettles' card, 23 against the right-hander. And Nettles drives that into center field, and Carlos May is a B. Looking to come home, 54 on the double. Or the double to center field. And that is going to be held at third base. But the Yankees, they're in business here. Runners on second and third, 1 out. And Willoughby not quite ready, so Murphy's going to have to face Oscar Gamble. And he does pitch well against left-handers. Here comes a pitch. 7 and 63 off of Murphy's card. That's going to be an out. Let's see if Gamble can at least make a run out of it, as ground ball down to second base. Infield was back. And G4 runner on third. A runner on third with a rating of A or B score. So May's going to come in. And over to third goes Greg Nettles. So 4-3 on the putout, and once again the Yankees have fought back to within 1, 5-4. Mickey Rivers up, 2 down, runner on third base. Here comes a pitch from Murphy. 7 going to be off of Murphy's card, 73. That's going to be an out. Mickey Rivers failing in the clutch, grounds it down to first base, and Yastrzemski, he's going to take it himself this time. So side retired, but the Yankees scratch out a run and a hit. And we're through 7. Score Boston 5, New York 4. And that's going to do it for Mr. Murphy for the Red Sox, as Jim Willoughby is going to try and close us out. So Murphy got a couple innings out of him, but he did give up 2 runs on 2 hits, or actually 2 hits and a single run. The other run was charged to Dick Pole. And in his 2 innings of work, he gave up a walk and struck 1 out as well. So Willoughby, he's going to try and get the 2-inning save, as Dave from Baseball Demo says, the manly save, not that sissy 2-batter stuff. As we head to the top of the 8th inning, Dick Tidrow, starting his first inning of work, will face Carlton Fisk. Tidrow, 10 saves, 4-5 record, 2.63 ERA in 1976. And 45 going to be off of Fisk card, and Fisk going to draw a inning opening base on balls. So the Red Sox looking to put some insurance on the board here in the 8th inning. Fisk at first, he's not going to run. 7, Yastrzemski, left-hander, going to be off of his card, and 37 versus the right-hander, swing and a miss. Tidrow, big strikeout, and Yastrzemski, disappointed in himself, heads back to the bench to enjoy his bowl of Special K as Jim Rice steps up. 8, and Rice, the right-hander, 2-8 on Tidrow, so going to be off of Tidrow's card. 88 will be an out regardless. And that is going to be a pop fly, and Nettles ventures 3 steps back into the outfield, puts it away, and there are 2 down. Two down, and I screwed up. So yeah, Rice. So I'm sorry, off of Dwight Evans. So Evans is going to be RP, and actually same result. So never mind, 2 down, and that brings up Rico Petrocelli. Captain Carl down at first base. Here comes the pitch. And 6 to Petrocelli, and the right-hander going to be off of Tidrow's card, 36. And Tidrow, swing and a miss, rings him up. So 2 strikeouts and a walk for Dick in the inning. But gets the job done as we head to the bottom of the 8th. Sox clinging to a 5-4 lead. And as mentioned, a new pitcher for the Red Sox, Jim Willoughby, 2.82 ERA, 3-12 with 10 saves. So he's blown his share as well. 73 to Jim Mason. That's going to be an out, however, and ground ball down to third base. Petrocelli. Long throw across the diamond, and digging that out of the dirt is Yastrzemski, 1 down. Back to the top of the order. And Willie Randolph stares down Willoughby. New York fans are on their feet. Rally time. Here comes the pitch. And Willoughby 2-9 against lefties, 4-7 against righties. It's going to be off of Willoughby's card, 42. And swing and a miss. He strikes out Randolph. So Willie 2 down, and that brings up Roy White, 57. That's going to be off of Willoughby's card, and that'll be an out. So Roy White drives that deep into right field to the track, but not far enough, and that's going to be hauled in by Evans. So side is retired. 3 up, 3 down go the Yanks in the 8th. We're heading to the top of the 9th inning, heading for a big finish. Boston leads us 5-4, and Rick Burleson leading it off for the Bo Sox. Here we go. Possible error, 35 off of Tidrow's card, unless he gets a strikeout. Bam! He gets him rung up. So Tidrow, 3 strikeouts now in an inning and a third. And back to the top of the order, Rick Miller, the batter. And Miller today has had a good day. He has singled and scored a run in 4 trips to the plate. I guess not spectacular, but fair. And it's going to come off of a Miller's card, and 38 versus the right-hander, and 38 is going to be a strikeout. So Dick Tidrow has struck out 4 of 6 batters he has faced so far, and that brings up Denny Doyle with 2 outs. Tidrow kicks, delivers, and 23 off of Tidrow's card. Actually, no, 23 is going to come off Doyle's card, and Denny Doyle, the prolific hitting Denny Doyle, his 2nd double in a row. He drives that into the gap in right center. two hops the fence and is into second base standing easily as Fred Lynn is the batter. 2 down. Tidrow's got to get out of this inning here. 2-6, and it's going to come off of Lynn's card. And 17, same thing as last time, folks. And 31, and Doyle, he's going to come around easily to score on that. So the Yankees can't get out of their own way as Tidrow, after striking out the first 2 batters of the ninth, gives up a double and a single and a run. So Sox extend their lead to 6-4. And this announcer can hardly contain his excitement at this outcome as Carlton Fisk steps up. Tidrow pissed off. Here comes a pitch, 84, and clutch batting result, and 1. But 88, 84, that will be an out. So Fisk takes a big cut and hits a simple ground ball down to shortstop. Mason's going to take care of him. But 1 batter too late as the Sox scratch out another run on a couple of hits. We're heading to the bottom of the 9th inning. This is it. Rally time, Bronx. Sox lead at 6-4. Due up for the Yankees, Thurman Munson, Chris Chambliss, and Carlos May. Let's see what they can do. And 23 off of Willoughby's card against the right-hander, and that's going to be a single up the middle. So Munson starting things out promisingly here in the 9th inning. Willoughby is a 6, by the way. So let's see if we can keep his tradition of blowing saves left and right up. He did get 10 again in 1976, but with 12 losses. Didn't get them all. Chris Chambliss, the batter. Here comes a pitch, and 9 against left-handers. Willoughby is a 2-9, so it's going to be off of his card, unfortunately. And 67, that'll be an out. So Chambliss, fly ball to shallow left field, and going back to take that in is third baseman Petrocelli, 1 down. Carlos May, the batter. Munson gets his lead. Here comes a pitch, and 7 again off of Willoughby's card, 62. And that's going to be a... oh, blank. Looking to see what the result is, even with my glasses, and there's nothing there because that's a steal card. So Carlos May is going to pop fly into foul ground near the dugout, and Yastrzemski's going to pull that in. Excuse my blindness. That's what happens when you're in your mid-50s. You can't see. Greg Nettles, last chance, 1 swing of the bat. He had 32 bombs in 1976. Here comes a pitch. 13 off of Willoughby's card, and that's going to be a single. So Munson trying to get to third, and OBR, he would be an A+. He's an A normally, but 2 outs. And 25, first to third on a single, 2 left. Munson there easily. So all is not lost as Greg Nettles keeps the rally going. Willoughby, his game to win or lose. He is at a 3 now in his fatigue. Oscar Gamble steps up. Oscar Gamble, 232 in 1976. Here comes a pitch, and 62. That's going to do it, folks, as Gamble pop fly right behind second base. Denny Doyle takes a few steps back into the outfield. Gloves it, raises his hands in the air, and they're White Sox. Red Sox. Sox are Sox. Red Sox have come into the Bronx and beaten the Yankees 6-4. And this was a close game throughout. And just when the Yankees would get to the point where they'd be ready to tie or they'd get within a run, the Sox would extend the lead by 1. And that was pretty much the pattern. So the Red Sox get 6 runs on 10 hits, 1 error. And for the Yankees, 4 runs on 7 hits and 1 error. Winning pitcher in this one, and they never did catch him, is Dick Pole. Willoughby's going to get the save. And your loser is Catfish Hunter, unfortunately. Dick Tidrow, he ends up going 2 innings, gives up 2 hits. Strikes out 4, but gives up a very costly run in the top of the ninth. Walks 1 as well. So, player of the game in this one. Denny Doyle. He's looking good for the Sox. Had a couple of doubles, but the POG goes to the man behind him, Freddie Lynn. Lynn had 3 singles and a double, 4 for 5 on the day, 3 RBIs, including what would be considered the game winner with his RBI single in the 7th, and he also scored a run. So Freddie Lynn, 4 for 5, 4 of Boston's 10 hits. He's a player of the game. And that is going to do it here from Yankee Stadium. So not quite the result that happened on 5/22/76, which was a 1-0 Yankees win. Red Sox win this one 6-4. And I'm sure at some point in this Game of the Week series, we will see these two again. Because if the Red Sox win the next one, we'll see them a third time, and we might see them for 7 weeks in a row until the Yankees get a win. But now we'll definitely get another game, the Yankees-Sox matchup later in the season, as they were the two teams, them and Baltimore too. We got to get Baltimore in this against either the Yankees or the Sox. I'll probably do an Orioles-Red Sox matchup. But next, we'll be going to the National League and probably going to look for a game next week featuring either Pittsburgh for you, Chris at Strat-o-matic, Delaware, big Ed Ott lover that you are, or potentially a New York Mets matchup. So probably we'll look for a game that Seaver pitched and see if we can squeeze that in next, as Tom Seaver dealing with some health issues at the age of 74. So that does it. Thank you as always for watching, and please remember to subscribe to Friends of the Channel. And again, if there's any games you want to see, drop a game or a team down in the comments, and I will definitely fit it in. We have a long ways to go. I'm having a blast with this. Again, Status Pro Advanced, courtesy of Derek Beckner, and you can check out his card collections either on eBay or also in the Delphi forums under Status Pro Advanced. So until next time, again, keep swinging for the fences, rolling for the fences, and whatever you play, enjoy doing it. We will see you. Have a good night, everyone.